Tonight, new details on the expected American retaliation for a deadly drone attack on US troops, for which President Biden holds Iran responsible. US officials describing a campaign that could last for weeks, expected to include Iranian targets outside of Iran. Telling NBC News the targets have not been finalized, but to expect strikes on multiple places in several countries and locations, including cyber operations.
When you're talking about what we're anticipating here, which won't just be a one-off. As I said, the first thing you see will not be the last thing.
Today, the White House saying an umbrella group of Iranian-backed militias called the Islamic Resistance in Iraq carried out Sunday's attack on the remote outpost in Jordan. 3 American soldiers were killed. And tonight, video of President Biden calling the parents of specialist Kennedy Sanders.
We're promoting her posthumously to sergeant.
Oh, wow. That is the best news I've heard today. Thank you so much. You don't know how much that means to us.
But there are questions tonight. US strikes in recent months retaliating for attacks by Iranian-backed groups, including a faction of the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, did not deter them. And the current delay in a US response is giving the militias time to prepare. A senior Iraqi official tells NBC News many Iranian-supported factions have been evacuating bases. Meanwhile tonight, one militia with ties to Iran, Kataib Hezbollah, announcing it's suspending attacks against US bases. But a government advisor here says Iran and its proxies likely hope to push President Biden to stand down and cannot be trusted.
They're still maneuvering, they are still collecting intelligence, they're still planning additional strikes on U.S. targets.
And Keir joining us now. Keir, there's also news the U.S. launched another preemptive strike against the Iranian-backed Houthi militia.
That's right, Lester. It happened this afternoon. The US saying it targeted another Houthi missile about to be launched because the Houthis have continued to terrorize commercial shipping in the Red Sea. Lester, it only underscores the immense challenge of deterring these Iranian-backed groups. Lester?
All right, Keir. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.